I'm Dwayne. I just stopped by Bacon America, and I want to finish this. It's still July the 9th, 2020, and I got on my workout suit. I just left Burger King. I changed to my workout suit now, my sauna suit, because it helped me detox. What I wanted to say is, you know, when you're dealing with unclean spirits, you're dealing with something controlling them. And unclean spirits can be Spanish speaking, okay? They can come from Mexico, El Salvador, South America. They can be from this landmass. Those that have claimed their nationality and those who are under status of Negro Black as Moorish Americans. They can be pale skinned. So they can be from a different landmass. So you have unclean spirits all over. But you know there's something controlling them. There's a system controlling them. And that's the issue. So I was thinking today because, you know, when you're dealing, I was wondering how this system feed off energy. Because it's about energy. I can't tell you how many times the unclean spirits that speak Spanish speak about magic, or she has magic when they're around me. Okay, so what are they saying, and what are they lusting for? And that goes with pale skins. They keep saying 3 and some other odd things in reference to trying to initiate. You're dealing with energy, spirits. And so when you're among unclean spirits that are not only unclean, but they are experimentations of some sort. That means they are mixed with other things. Okay, it's nothing wrong with being different. Okay, but when you are different and you deliberately follow or stalk, you part of the system of sending sharp pains to an individual or population, because the United States jurisdiction is not considered civilized in reference to health. You wonder why, but when you know we're among a telepathic community, Daddy Monty Gray-Bey and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey, celestial, natural, divine beings, reject the code, then you see why. Because they send sharp pains, they are doing things mentally to the population that cause them to be recycled in the medical system, cause them to overeat, cause them to be on drugs, cause them to make wrong financial decisions. And so there is something controlling the demonic spirits, and they're feeding off this energy. So I was thinking about how this cycle of energy feeding, because if they're feeding off negative energy, you know that's going against Mother Earth, the spirit of Mother Earth and the universe. And the spirit of Mother Earth and the universe is made in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and all of the other divine spirits in connection to freedom, natural law. All right, that's the connection to the Constitution of 1787, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, and all 4 of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations, and being properly naturalized, either taking an oath or affirm to uphold these natural divine laws of freedom. So how does this system, this spirit, this matrix feed off energy and use different forms of sacrifice and create a false reality? So I was thinking about how, you know, you have a rash of black power. You know, those that are under status of black or Negro, African American, who start saying black power, black this, black that. This is not everyone. I'm just saying some that are wearing afros. They red, black, and green. You know, during this time where they're promoting Black and Brown Lives Matter. Okay? So now you know we are among unclean spirits with the code of telepathy that are that are of some form of a species of some sort. So, but yet you still see there are people that are being wrongly, that are being abused by police. They are melanated. They could be under status of black, Negro, Spanish speaking, but they predominantly of them are melanated. The United States Navy and Army just now have a case again. They have several cases of them possibly raping and killing their own soldiers. Predominantly of them have been women, I should say, and it seemed to be Army. I don't know. I'll just say military. That I've seen. So this is energy feeding. So now we hearing black and brown lives matter, and yet we are among those spirits that consider themselves black or African American, that are unclean, that work with the system. They send sharp pains, they molest the genitals, that are part of the rapping or rape, molestation, murder, illegal organ selling. Everything that has been documented supposedly to be watch out, this is what the white devil is doing, but there's no such thing as white. It's pale skin. So we are among those demonic spirits that are under the status of black or African American, that's in the system, that work with the system, whether they're pale skin, Spanish speaking, or predominantly controlled by pale skin, and they do it, and a large amount of them do it. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing is how this, because I just posted this picture of another melanated man who was in Georgia, and he was shot supposedly by 3 pale skins. That's like, if you think about the ritual sacrifice and how then on the media start saying black and brown lives matter, knowing that you are among unclean spirits that are melanated, that work along with that system, that will shoot a woman, a melanated woman, a Moorish woman, that's understands black African American, rape a male, do whatever, just like on a plantation. So I see this as energy. They're recycling a false reality of energy, and it's the same thing of sending sharp pains to a healthy individual. When you're sending sharp pains to a healthy individual constantly, and you already know that person is healthy, that a large amount of the people, once again, not just in Annapolis, this is all over, it's documented, the United States jurisdiction has a problem with health, okay? Then it's done purposely to recycle people or the population in the medical system. And whether they have to go and get some sort of pharmaceuticals, if they're being possessed mentally, they having sex without condoms, whether they're spreading diseases or being infected by a disease or a virus, whatever they can do to keep this cycle of dysfunction, this cycle of disharmony, and this cycle of not being in natural law with the earth and the universe. So this is what's coming to an end. This is what my antennas are picking up on. When you hear me speak of unclean spirits, Allah, I always give praise to Allah, because it's already been prophesied in many holy books that this world that they're doing is going to come to an end. Now, how long will it take? I don't know, but it's definitely going to come to an end. And I see it ending soon. When I say soon, I mean, okay, the earth can be 600 billion years. Okay, so sooner than 600 billion years is long. So, and in reincarnation, that is what we as Moorish Americans try to focus on. We should be focusing on. We should be we should be focusing on raising our frequency, because this world is not going to last long. And that in all the plotting, the planning, the forced amalgamation, the slave breeding, trying to breed DNA with ancient ancestral lines, it's going to be a waste of time. That's also been prophesied in Matthew 13 in the Holy Bible. It's a waste of time, because there's going to be a separation and then an extermination. And that's what I picked up from Matthew 13. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I pick up. So there's a separation and then an extermination. So there are two different types of medical systems. You have medical systems that are actually healing. They want to heal. They want to heal. Well, let me say this. You hope they do. I know they exist, because I have books by doctors in the past that used to work for hospitals, and now they're in holistic healing. Okay, they used to work for hospitals. These are doctors. Like one of the books I have now on my tablet is I think his name is O'Neill. He speaks about an alkaline diet, he's a doctor. He used to work in the medical system, but he doesn't work in the medical system anymore. Then you have those medical systems that are obviously not for that. They are benefiting and profiting off the population being recycled, and making money off of them, making money and that energy flow, making money off of sickness, off of being overweight, being underweight, not eating what you should eat according to the chemistry of your body, mental illness because of the attacks that are being done by unclean demonic spirits. So who is controlling that system? And that is the issue, and that's what's coming to an end. So it's not just the unclean spirits that are being used as slaves. They are slaves. There's nothing cosmic about them. There's nothing universal about them. Like woo, what they are, they're experimentations. They're experiments being used. Okay, there's nothing out of the world about them being used. They have figured out a way to distribute this telepathic code, and now it's so obvious, so they had to make it known what they can do, because it's so obvious what they've been doing to the population for decades. Okay, for decades, keeping people sick. So now they're just making it known. So when you're dealing with, so getting back to that, so this is what I see the medical systems and other systems use the unclean spirits to do. So, but when you're in the spirit of freedom, when the population was to be in that spirit of freedom, that means it's enforced for them to take to be naturalized. There would be no such thing as white, because white is not a nationality, and in order to claim a nationality on this landmass, you have to be naturalized. And so in that, if they was to be naturalized under these divine laws of freedom, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, all four of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations, this would help raise the frequency of an individual where they don't feel, where they will not cause harm, where they're not walking around like a zombie, a robot, looking for a reason to rape, looking for a reason to send sharp pains or be used. Because in the spirit of freedom, it's like, why are you invading my mental space? This is my mental space. This is my boundaries. What are you doing? What is the system about? But when you're in the spirit of bondage, you're like, that's what we're supposed to do. That's just how it is. No, it's not how it is. Because you've been programmed, or the population been programmed and enslaved to think so. So that's why I'm thinking about in reference to energy, and especially when the Black and Brown Lives Matter, because I noticed if it's like creating a new reality. So all of a sudden you might have a rise of black power, and this is not putting down the history, okay? Because I know history of the Black Panthers, not know everything, but Black Panthers and other conscious organizations that tried to clean up their neighborhoods. They tried to clean up the neighborhoods and use different forms of law to try to keep the drugs out the neighborhoods, keep the violence out. But as we all know, they always have a story about some cell or somebody, some fake one going inside the organization to bring it down. Okay, so anyway, so to me, if you take that on a huge scale and knowing that we are among unclean spirits, not only unclean, possibly disease and have viruses, not saying that makes them less, because they do. Once again, I mean, that's why I gave testimony about my girlfriend who was HIV positive, because I haven't spoke about her in years, but I felt my spirit said go ahead and speak about her, because she was a girlfriend of mine, and I really valued our friendship. But anyway, getting to the point, we are among unclean spirits, and it's definitely about amalgamation, subjugation, and keeping the masses of people on a low frequency, so that they can continue spreading diseases, spreading harm, chaos, hiding the truth, what have you. But the thing is, I know that when I start to see a rise of black power, especially with the Black and Brown Lives Matter, I know it's a created fallacy. It's not real. It's created. It's not real. It's just not real. So Imani Gray and I, because I already know too much. Don't know everything. You think you know something, don't know it all. What's possibly going on in reference to slave breeding. All right. A lot of times these spirits still at American Senate State keep saying brother. Still hearing Spanish speaking around in pale skin. The number 3, like they saying brother like they're an animal. And the females too, like a female accent, like an animal, brother, like a robot. Like it's like walking, brother. So I'm thankful that Imani Gray-Bey do not have, and I do not have the science of telepathy. I've been fortunate to not have that. But that's what I foresee, this fake fallacy of the so-called Black Panther, this whatever, blackness, unity, all that's going to be created. Because the true issue should be naturalization, reclaiming nationality, and people should uphold these divine laws of freedom, the Constitution of 1787, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. That includes the United States military, the Navy, and the Army. It was created by 34 Moors and 28 Anglo-Saxons. Those 34 Moors and 28 Anglo-Saxons came together. Many died, soldiers, so that we can walk as free spirits. Islam. It's July the 9th, 2020.